This video is kindly brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform to create a beautiful online presence. Hi, my name's Janelle and welcome back to Rosery Apparel. Today I'm so excited to be sharing one of my all-time favourite videos to film and make, and that is my yearly roundup of sharing everything I made for my Me Made wardrobe throughout the year. This year is actually the 5th time I'm filming one of these videos, which is actually bonkers to me. Every year it is just so nice to sit back and reflect on everything I've made and kind of show off everything I've made in a way as well, because I'm so proud of all the things I make throughout the year. And yeah, talk through all the different patterns I found throughout the year and all the tutorials I made on my channel. So if you did want to have a go at making any of the garments I'll be sharing in this video, then make sure you check out the description box down below, where I'll have a whole long list of all the different patterns and tutorials. So yeah, if you did want to make any of these items for your own wardrobe, you can do that. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. And let me start by talking about the dress I'm actually wearing, which is quite possibly one of my favorite dresses that I made in 2024. This dress here has been made with the Willow pattern by Rosie Caldwell. I am obsessed with this style of dress. It is just so feminine and lovely, but also so incredibly comfortable as well. Like, the actual waistline is fully elasticated. It's also got this lovely gathered neckline, which I just think is so pretty, and some puffy sleeves. There are so many lovely details about this dress and I love every single one of them. I actually splurged and bought some Liberty fabric to make this dress out of, and I do not regret that decision at all. This fabric has just made up into the most beautiful dress. It just feels a little bit fancy because yeah, Liberty fabric is very expensive and just has the most lovely quality to it. And even though it is a somewhat fancier style dress, I still find I wear it most days because it's kind of the perfect mix of fancy and casual at the same time. I just love how I feel wearing this dress. The next item I have to share with you is a super simple, easy peasy vest top that I actually made out of a little lace tablecloth. And when I was cutting into the tablecloth, I made special care to take note of the positioning of all the lace decorative details so that I could really have them be a feature of this top. I actually find I don't wear it much on its own because unfortunately the placement didn't work out exactly as I'd planned, and it's a bit see-through right where I don't want it to be. But I do love wearing this with long sleeve tops underneath and with turtlenecks and things over the more cooler months. Next, I have this adorable broderie anglaise shirt. I made it using a Japanese sewing pattern, and I actually used this broderie anglaise fabric that I purchased in Japan, so it felt very fitting. And yeah, it turned out 1,000 times better than I was expecting. I wasn't expecting bad things by any stretch, but I just think the combination of the broderie anglaise with this boxy, masculine style top has just created the most interesting garment. And yeah, I'm just so happy with this make and so excited to have added it to my wardrobe this year. Next, I have a dress in the exact same fabric. I actually made that shirt because I had a bit of the leftover fabric after making this dress. This dress has literally just been made from a few rectangles of fabric, and then I just added some channels of elastic into the bodice to like create a faux shirred look. I can't explain to you just how easy it was to make, but it looks again quite fancy, which has been kind of fun to add some fancier makes to my wardrobe this year. I have been styling this with long sleeve tops underneath, which has been such a fun way to wear this dress throughout the colder months. But now that it's summertime and it's looking like it's going to be a pretty hot summer this year here in Australia, I'm really looking forward to just being able to wear this dress on its own. This next item I actually made at the very end of last year, but I'm going to include it in this video because I actually shared the tutorial for it this year and I'm completely in love with it, so I kind of want to show it off again. I made this puffer jacket out of a vintage bedspread. I'll put some close-ups in so you can see. It's the most adorable beigey floral print. The bedspread itself was already pre-quilted, which gives the overall material just such a lovely puffiness. And as soon as I saw it at the op shop, I knew I had to have a go at making a puffer jacket from it, and I could not be happier with how this turned out. Next, I have a skirt that I actually made with my latest sewing pattern that I released this year, the Clover pattern. This is the long version of the Clover skirt. It's got buttons all the way down the front. I made this skirt out of some lovely quilt print cotton that I picked up while I was in Japan. I am so in love with it. It goes all the way to basically my ankles, which is my favorite length for skirts and dresses this year. Oh, and of course it has pockets. But yeah, I'll have a link to the Clover pattern down below if you wanted to go and check it out. I'm so happy with it, and yeah, just so excited I was able to get my act together and get this sewing pattern out into the world this year. Next, I have another skirt, and this is actually a pattern hack of my Clover pattern. I really am loving this whole like drop waist trend that I'm seeing everywhere at the moment. But I decided to have a go at pattern hacking my Clover skirt to add this like dropped, gathered hemline, and I'm completely in love with how it turned out. This fabric is stunning. It's like a really beautiful textured cotton with just a pretty simple plaid print, but because it's beige, it literally goes with everything in my wardrobe. Yeah, I'm super happy with this addition to my wardrobe, and again, I feel like I'm going to get so much wear out of it in the warmer months. Next up, I have one of 2 knitwear items that I made this year. Basically, I was inspired to have a go at making a wavy striped jumper exactly like this, with this color scheme and everything. And I ended up finding and using a vintage feather and fan knitting pattern. And again, the colors just mean it kind of goes with everything in my wardrobe. Like, it goes so well with this dress I'm wearing. Super proud I was able to make this. It's been a long time coming, and I'm so excited to have added it to my wardrobe. The next item isn't actually an item of clothing, but I'm gonna share it anyway because it really did take so much effort to make, and I'm super proud of it too. And that is this starburst type quilt. It has a particular name, but I cannot remember it off the top of my head now. I think it's like a Boston Star or something. But basically, I was very inspired once again by my favorite quilting brand, Projecti Ini? I never know how to pronounce the brand, but it's the most adorable homewares brand. They have a lot of different vintage folk style quilts. They're just not your typical quilt, if that makes sense. And yeah, this took me quite a few months to make, but yeah, I also hand quilted all the layers together, which just makes for such a special quilt. And yeah, I'm super proud of it. It was definitely the most technical quilt I've attempted. Before I get on to the next garment, let's just take a quick break to talk about the sponsor of this video. This video has been very kindly sponsored by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform to create a beautiful online presence and launch your passion project. In this day and age, it is kind of essential to have an online presence of some form, and in a world of social media and algorithms and ads just constantly being fed to us, I cannot begin to explain just how reassuring it is to have a corner of the internet that's completely my own thanks to Squarespace. With Squarespace, you can design, build, and run a website completely yourself, no knowledge or background needed in coding whatsoever, and without the need to fork out thousands of dollars up front for a custom website build. Instead, you can just simply select from a range of beautifully designed templates, and then once you've selected your template, you can then change it up as much or as little as you like. You can change everything from the overall layout of your website to all the fun things like the fonts and colors with just a few clicks. And you can also use their really intuitive drag and drop system on the back end of the website to literally just drag and place any number of features you need to run your business successfully until you have the website of your dreams. And now, thanks to their AI integrated design system called Design Intelligence, everyone, no matter what your skill level is or your design experience is, you're able to build a beautiful and customized website that has everything you need to create an impactful online presence and to be able to run your business successfully. So if you'd like to start the year out strong and create a beautiful online presence of your own, then I totally recommend you go and check out Squarespace using the link in the description below this video. And then when you're ready to launch your beautiful new website, head to squarespace.com/Rosery Apparel for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thank you so much, Squarespace, for sponsoring this video. Next up, I have another dress. This one here has been made with the garden pattern. This dress here has probably been the most technical make I've attempted so far. Not only has it got like all of these beautiful pin tuck details on the front and on the back, but it's been entirely made with French seams as well. I made this dress out of some like brick red poplin. It's like the perfect shade of red. It's like a little bit muted, a little bit more on the like dusky rosy end of the red spectrum, which I completely love. And I also love how the back is quite open and there's a little tie at the top, and then these little bow ties at the side to cinch it in nicely. It's just such a beautiful dress. The pattern actually comes with a blouse version as well, and I'm so excited to attempt making the blouse next because the sleeves of the blouse have some pin tuck detailing as well, so it just looks incredible. Next up, I have another dress. Just a basic A-line dress, but I've added this ruching at the front and the back, which just gives the finished dress the most incredible texture. I ended up using this incredible crinkle crepe fabric, which I just think was the perfect fabric choice for this style of dress because it's just already quite a textured fabric, and then to add the ruching just takes it to the next level. I actually made this out of some leftover fabric I had. Ideally, I would have loved to have made it a bit longer, because I'm just like not favoring short dresses at the moment, but I think over summer I will definitely wear this a lot more because I just think with stockings underneath it just didn't look right. And ultimately this dress was just such a fun experiment. I haven't really done ruching like this before, and I'm excited to try and experiment with fabric manipulation a bit more in 2025 just because the results can be really, really fun. So like I mentioned, I made that dress out of some leftover fabric, and that is because the main dress I wanted to make from that fabric was another willow dress, just like the one I'm wearing. Basically, as soon as I finished making this dress, I instantly knew I wanted to make another. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm in two minds about this dress. I obviously love the style and I love the fabric. I just don't know if they're meant to be together. When I first made this dress, I was convinced it was the perfect fabric for this style, and I still might think that, but for some reason I just am not drawn to wearing this dress as much as I am to wearing this one. And I think it's because this fabric just does not have enough structure in it to really make the style of the dress sing. Let me know what you think. I'm going to like try and wear it a bit more this summer, see if I actually like it. I really hope I do because I love this fabric. It's like my favorite color to wear. I don't know, it's just something about the like drape of the fabric is just too much for this style of dress, I think. If you have any ideas or thoughts about this dress, or if you think I'm just overthinking it, please let me know because yeah, sadly I haven't been drawn to wear this dress much compared to the amount I've worn this dress, that's for sure. Next I have my second knitted garment for the year, and I'll just talk about it briefly because I'm sure you've seen it a million times on my channel already, but it's another exact replica of my favorite ever Rosery jumper. I have knitted this exact jumper before. The Rosery jumper is a free knitting pattern that I share on my website. So I made this exact jumper last year or the year before from this yarn and everything, but unfortunately at the time I did make it about a size or two too big for me, and then I wore it to absolute death and it stretched significantly. So I threw it in the washing machine in hopes to shrink it a little bit, but it did the opposite and actually made it stretch out even more. And so I decided I would knit it again. And I have no regrets. I now have my favorite jumper in the perfect size. It fits me so much better. It works so nicely with my dresses because it's just ever so slightly cropped. It only took me like a month to knit up as well. It was a super quick make and I'm obsessed with it. I'm actually going to take my knitwear down because I don't want them stretching, and you're not meant to hang up knitwear. Okay, next up I have a super cute, super simple item, and that is this gathered cropped top. Basically I have this bikini set that has this exact top, and if I ever like post about it or share, not that I share when I'm wearing swimwear very often, but when I do, I often get asked if I made them, and sadly I didn't, but I decided I'd have a go at making the cropped top because it honestly is just such a cute and comfortable style, and I thought it'd be good to have a tutorial up on my channel so when people ask about my swimwear I can direct them to the tutorial. I made it out of this stunning Bonnie and Neil linen tablecloth, which is just like the most beautiful thing ever, and I'm so happy with how it turned out. It's just made from literally a couple of rectangles. It's super simple, very easy, and a really good project for beginners actually. Next up, I have another dress. This one here is a sailor collar dress with pleats in the waistline. I again made this dress using a Japanese sewing pattern. I have loved sharing my series of using Japanese sewing patterns on my channel this year, so thank you so much for enjoying them because they are some of my favorite videos to make. This dress was my first attempt at a Japanese sewing pattern, and I cannot get over how well it turned out. It is such a unique dress. It's very long, which I love, and it has this stunning sailor collar on the front and the back. I'm usually someone who's more drawn to like a gathered waist, but this was my first proper attempt at doing pleats like this, and I'm kind of in love with it. And pleats just work so well with linen fabric. Like the structuredness of the linen just makes the pleats stand out so nicely. Next, I have another clover skirt, but this one is the mini version. I made this skirt out of some green corduroy. The corduroy is quite thick, which again just creates a more structured overall skirt. I also decided to use quite large buttons along the front to make them a real feature of the skirt, and I think it just turned out so cute. I love corduroy, it's so cozy, and this skirt styled with a pair of tights and my chunky Doc Marten boots, it was such a winning combination. Next, I have another new favorite dress of mine, and that is this stunning green ruffle dress. I actually pattern hacked my pansy sewing pattern to make this dress. It was such a scary project in a way because you kind of have to make the dress and then cut it up to add the ruffle. I tried many ways to get the ruffle to like look continuous like this, and pre-cutting the template piece just did not work. So I decided the best option was to actually make the dress and then cut it. And I have no regrets about that because it turned out exactly as I was hoping. I made this dress out of some really thick grid green linen fabric, which is just so pretty. It's such a beautiful shade of green and I'm obsessed with it. It's just such a whimsical and fun dress design, and it's honestly the perfect everyday dress for the like shoulder seasons, so when it's like warming up but still a little bit chilly. Next, I have the last clover skirt that I added to my wardrobe this year. This one here has been made out of some like flowy rayon fabric, and as you can see, the fabrics have just created two very different looking skirts even though it's the same pattern, and I'm completely in love with that. But yeah, I have to say, I think at the moment my preferred is this rayon version. It's just so perfect for summer. Like, I can't begin to describe how perfect it is. Another skirt I wear all the time is this pleated gathered skirt. This is another Japanese sewing pattern, probably my favorite out of the lot. I just, again, find I wear this skirt so often. I really wanted to have a go at this pattern in particular because it has pleats at the front. But what I love about this pattern is it also has gathering at the back, so it's still got the like comfortableness of a gathered skirt, but the more sophisticated structuredness of a pleated skirt at the front. I made this skirt out of some stunning eucalyptus colored linen from Spotlight. It is such a pretty color. It's very neutral, but it's still a beautiful green. And yeah, like I said, I've just been wearing it non-stop. Next, I have another dress. You can tell I'm a dress person, can't you? This one is the Clara dress by Silver Saga Patterns, another one of my all-time favorite pattern makers. I originally made this dress as a Damson Matter inspired dress with velvet bows down the front. I'll put some footage in now of me wearing that dress. I really love the bows. I feel like it just was the perfect addition to this fabric, but sadly they did not fare very well in the wash. They were just getting really ruddy, and so I decided to unpick them and remove them. I love wearing this dress on its own as well as with the bows, so I think if I like felt the need to add the bows again, I would just hand stitch them in again, and then when they get ready I can remove them again and then just wear this dress on its own for a while. It's kind of the best of both worlds that way. So yeah, at the moment I'm just enjoying wearing this dress on its own. It's such a stunning dress, and again, very comfortable because it's just all elasticated. Next, I have another brown gingham number, and that is this cutie pair of shorts. I actually made these shorts out of a vintage tablecloth that had this adorable embroidery all over it. So I decided to like implement that embroidery throughout the shorts as much as possible. I used my free boxer short sewing pattern to create these boxer shorts and I am so chuffed with them. I'll leave the free pattern linked below if you wanted to get your hands on it. It's like basically the perfect beginner's sewing pattern. And instead of just using a normal elasticated waistband, I decided to create 3 channels of elastic instead to create a more like faux shirt looking waistband. And I'm so happy with how it turned out. It's just like creates just an ever so slightly more sophisticated style of waistband. And now for the last item, which is definitely one of my most worn and most favorite items of clothing I made this year. And that is my corduroy pinafore. I picked up this black floral corduroy in Japan, and as soon as I saw it, I knew I wanted to make like a dress of some kind out of it. So I decided to have a go at pattern hacking my pansy pattern to make this dreamy corduroy pinafore. I am in love with it. I have really loved wearing black this year. That is something that has been a new discovery of mine in 2024. I love wearing black. But yeah, this pinafore is just like super long, perfect for layering. I can wear like jumpers and sweaters underneath, but also just like long sleeve turtlenecks. It also has these ties at the side to like cinch it in a little bit, so it's super comfortable. But yeah, that is everything I made for my Me Made wardrobe in 2024. When I make these videos, I always like to pick out my favorite makes of the year. I never pre-think about it, but I know definitely this pinafore is up there just because of the sheer amount I've worn it. I think also, oh, it's so hard. Why is it so hard? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pick these 2 green skirts as well. I don't know if that's controversial, but these 3 items I'm holding in my hands right now, ever since I've made each one, I have just been wearing non-stop. So for me, that is a very good sign that these are my favorite items, you know? So yeah, these are my 3 favorite items that I have made for my wardrobe this year. Obviously, it's sitting over there, but the wavy knit is up there too, just because it's a knit. They just take so long to make, so I just feel like I have to include it. But in terms of the things I've been wearing the most, these 3 take the cake. So I hope you enjoyed this video and have enjoyed seeing all of the things I made for my Me Made wardrobe in 2024. Like I said at the start of the video, don't forget to go and check out the description for the whole list of patterns and tutorials if you did want to make any of these items for your own wardrobe. And yeah, if you have any requests for things you might like to see throughout 2025, feel free to leave those in the comments below. I'm always looking for new ideas. So yeah, if you have anything you might like to see me make this year, I would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching this video until the very end, and I'll see you in the next one.